guys, welcome to this video, and this video is called Green Computing Initiatives, where we mainly talk about green computing, our contributions as a student, and how we apply it in real life. The question of whether online learning is really better than face-to-face learning has always been a long-standing debate. With technology becoming so advanced and the pandemic underway shuttering campuses everywhere, online learning is standing out as the better option as a green alternative in conducting face-to-face classes. For the reason, there is the elimination inherent to distance learning of much staff and student travel, meaning we cut off the carbon emissions when people stop commuting or accessing land transportation and going to their respective university campus. Next is the very large reduction in campus site emissions per student from distance or open learning systems, as there will be no one who would occupy the university campuses or schools. There won't be powered facilities anymore, and there are now lesser carbon emissions. Lastly, electricity used during online classes is reasonable to be only considered as an additional residential energy involved taking a course. A person living at home would normally be consuming electricity by gadgets and lighting in their dwelling anyway, so it is appropriate to count all the energy consumed per student in those term time dwellings. As far as my knowledge goes, I think I am very active towards green computing. Number one, I am only using a laptop in my online class, and it uses far less energy than a desktop. It only draws 15 to 25 watts during regular use compared to the 150 watts used by conventional desktop computers. Next is I put my laptop in sleep mode when not in use, and it reduces the consumed energy by 60 to 70%. Next is I don't use any extravagant screensavers on my laptop. In fact, I only use a black screensaver. According to the Panasonic Plasma Display Laboratory of America, the notion that black screens save electricity makes the most sense, especially in LCDs that we use nowadays, as black required 23.2 watts and white came in a tad higher at 23.2 watts. There are a number of ways that specific hardware and hardware deployments can affect the environment. We can reduce costs for hardware by simply buying less equipment. The best way that I can contribute to this is only using what technology that is available to me. Every time that before I buy a new equipment or gadget, I make sure that I always check our old inventory and find something that can be reused or renovated with energy efficiency. We can take an older computer and turn it into a thin client for the processing and storage duties, and are conducted at the server, as the client just needs enough power to be able to display what is going on at the server. If we are doing so, our energy bill will be 10 times less than what it is now. The first green computing related law is the Republic Act No. 9729, also known as the Climate Change Act of 2009, in which it adapts the Philippine Agenda 21 framework, which espouses sustainable development, to fulfill human needs while maintaining the quality of the natural environment. In the real-world setting, it is observed by the tech companies such as Dell, Apple, NVIDIA, Microsoft, and many more, in which they stabilize their greenhouse gas emissions by retrofitting or replacing old facilities into sustainable ones to prevent dangerous anthropogenic interference within the climate system. The next law that I would like to share with you is the Republic Act 10771, also known as the Philippine Green Jobs Act of 2016, in which promoting a green economy provides incentives to enterprises that promote or provide green goods and services, green jobs, green technologies, and sustainable development. This is one of my favorite laws that has been implemented because it contributes to preserving and restoring the environment, be it the agriculture industry or even the technology sector. It really promotes green computing and giving them incentives so they will surely adhere to it. During our class presentation in green computing, I am safe to say that I really am an active contributor in green computing, and I really love the research and learning process of green computing itself. I learned that as a student, green computing is really difficult to come by at first, but once you make it as a habit, it truly became easy as the time runs by as little as closing your devices when needed, turning them into their power-saving modes, and properly disposing them in accordance with the proper waste disposal of the tech companies. It already has a big impact on our environment. And what more if everyone around us also does the same? Big companies have already made their part, and they all are continuously improving their ways to help the environment. So as common people should also do their part and observe green computing, so all of us could save the environment.